Well, Chastity, let's jump right into this interview, shall we? As you work to become an educator, it is important to think about and be able to explain how you will respect students with differing personal backgrounds and various skills, abilities, perspectives, talents, and interests. It is also equally important to continue improving your teaching practice to better meet the needs of all your students. That being said, in your opinion, what do you believe it means to be a culturally competent educator?
Cultural competence is understanding diversity. It's the ability to comprehend and accept those of other beliefs and cultures. Embracing this diversity within the classroom provides us as teachers with the opportunity to instill new awareness into the various cultural differences within our classrooms. And I believe being able to do so successfully and efficiently is what makes an educator a culturally competent educator.
And where exactly do you see yourself on the cultural competency continuum chart?
On the cultural competency continuum chart, I see myself as being one who is culturally competent.
Can you tell me why that is?
Well, cultural competence requires an open attitude, self awareness, awareness of others, having cultural knowledge, as well as cultural skills, all of which I feel that I possess to an extent. Having experiences and interactions with many different types of people from many different cultures has allowed me the ability to alter my own approaches and assumptions.
Now, what would it take for you to get to the next step, or to deepen your cultural competence, including understanding of your own personal biases, teaching in diverse classrooms, and the implementing of strategies for ensuring a safe and supportive classroom for all students?
To deepen my own cultural competence and go on to the next step as being culturally proficient, I would need to learn a lot more. Culturally proficient people don't know all there is to know about others who are different from them, which I do not, but they do know how to take advantage of teachable moments, how to ask questions without offending people, and they know how to create an environment that's welcoming to diversity and change. In order for me to get to that level, I would need to have more experiences of people from different cultures, which would then improve my own self awareness as well as awareness of those other cultures.
Can you tell me some specific research and readings, tools, resources, or training you might use to further your cultural competency as an educator?
In order to further my own cultural competence as an educator, I need to be more self aware as well as more aware of others and the perspective of others. Being more self aware, meaning that I can identify any of my own personal biases, and the perspectives of others requires an understanding of their norms, values, and traditions that their worldview and learning behaviors have been impacted by.
What do you think it will look like to have cultural inclusivity in your future classroom?
Cultural inclusivity in my future classroom can be seen within the future students that I will be having. I will encourage students to ask questions that are not offensive in order to raise their own awareness of each other and awareness of those varying cultures that they will be seeing throughout their lives.
You seem to be very culturally aware, and you obviously have an idea of how to incorporate cultural inclusivity into the classroom. So how exactly will you make sure that you are respecting students as individuals with differing personal backgrounds and various skills, abilities, perspectives, talents, and interests? Especially ones that do not align with your own personal spiritual beliefs and moral values?
The only way to fully make sure that I'm respecting my students and not being offensive in, or biased in any way is to communicate, asking questions, getting to know my students, and listening to them is the only way that I truly can learn and respect them as individuals with differences.
Thank you for taking the time to answer these questions. That concludes this interview.